All right, guys. I mean, it's a little old news, but then again, it's not because we're going to be hearing more and more about the Sherrone Moore thing and the Michigan search for a coach and the athletic director. Is he going to keep his job or not? I'm going to just jump right out of the gate and again give my opinion on that. I think Sherrone Moore should have been shown the door immediately after, or not Sherrone Moore. Ward Manuel should have been shown the door right after the Moore incident. I mean, it's enough. There's been enough crap going on in that program. They need to clean house for sure. And I don't know what they're going to do, but there's a lot of money on the table. The next head coach is going to make a lot of money, but man, I don't know how I'd want to go get hired by an athletic director that might be canned. I mean, it's just a terrible situation. Thoughts?
Yeah, I mean that's one of the big parts right now that people are talking about. Obviously, Michigan football is looking for their next head coach right now, and the candidates, a few of them are still playing, whether in a bowl game or the playoff. So that comes into play. But I mean, we saw Lane Kiffin leave Ole Miss, who's in the playoff for LSU. So that that doesn't always matter. But it is obviously a factor right now. But you have to wonder about the AD thing, because you always hear about whether it's a GM in professional sports or the AD in college, they always want to like hire their guy. They always want to have their head coach. So you have to wonder, is a head coach, whether it's Kalen DeBoer, whether it's Kenny Dillingham, whoever it is that's maybe getting wooed by Michigan to be head coach, are they thinking, well, do I want to do that? Because kind of like what you're saying, Ted, like, because what if I get hired and then they fire Ward Manuel a month later, or even say a year later, and then the new AD that comes in doesn't like me, or they want to hire their guy, so you have to wonder if that's in the back of someone's mind. There's the other side to it too. The University of Michigan right now is with an interim president too. Mm-hmm. So at some point the university is going to, I would assume, hire a full-time president, which kind of same thing. Sometimes they like to hire their own AD, and then it trickles down from there. So there's a lot of stuff going on right now with the University of Michigan, but the other side, like, people with all of that, seeing people say like, oh, I wouldn't touch Michigan football right now with a 10-foot pole. No one wants to deal with that mess. No one. I mean, I can see that argument. It's still Michigan football. It's still the brand. It's still one of the richest universities with one of the bigger donor bases, alumni bases in the world, basically. So yes, I understand what you're saying, but if Michigan's throwing, we're going to make you one of the top paid coaches in the Big Ten, we're going to give you all this NIL money, we're going to give you, all this XYZ, everything, I think most coaches would at least consider it, even with everything going on. So that's the big discussion. There's Sherrone stuff. I mean, we'll talk a little more. I'm just very curious, because we're probably going to hear more about it once, they really start digging into the whole situation. This was going on for multiple years, and everyone has their private life, their personal life, so you understand that. I mean, maybe people didn't know, but the rumors have been out there since, the spring or even longer, that something was going on. Michigan said they interviewed Sherrone and the girl. They both denied it. It just seems like, hey, that's all you did. Like, this was going on for years, and you had one little interview. They both denied it, and you're like, all right, cool. Like, it just seems like they didn't do their due diligence to really find out what was going on.
Jared, before you jump in, I just want to throw this quick comment out. Boy, what a Christmas present for Michigan State fans and Ohio State fans, huh? I mean, holy shit.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you guys have kind of jumped the shark a little bit. I mean, don't we need to hear Sherrone's side of the story first? And what the hell was that? Anyway, let's start with Michigan media. I mean, Valenti kind of nailed it. Valenti is a smart guy. I like listening to him about a lot of things. Yep. I feel like he gets the chance to jump on things before I get the chance to. And not that I'm like Valenti or something. He's way better than I am. But he was spot on with the Michigan media comment. It was so annoying seeing this news break on Wednesday. And everyone, even like national media, like Josh Pate, everyone's, oh, yeah, we knew about this. Like, we knew about this, so we knew it was coming. Basically taking a victory lap, posting memes of them, shooting and draining basketball shots. Like when it broke, even though, what is being a reporter nowadays? Shouldn't somebody have done some digging on this? Shouldn't somebody have freaking reported on this? I mean, it's funny how as soon as it broke, it was pretty damn obvious. I mean, huge pay jump. Everybody, quote unquote, knew, but nobody was willing to dig in and do it and find out some more information for us. You know who is a good group of reporters in our town? and they're not perfect. I feel like the Detroit Tigers, they're beat reporters. They ask tough questions. They do some digging on things. If this was the Detroit Tigers reporters that were, tasked with the same issue, I seriously think that they probably would have broke this story way sooner than basically way sooner than as soon as we lose to Ohio State. Now let's do a little bit more digging on this thing. Is how I know that's not necessarily what happened, but how do you not view it that way?
Right.
Especially when it's already came to you twice. And it's just, you basically ignore it. I mean, like you said, Matt, it's like, okay, well, I guess they both said they didn't do it, so nothing more we can do. That just is what it is. It's like, I don't know, maybe you could do a little bit more digging. Let's take a look at the checkbook where it's all of a sudden a $50,000 pay raise with the same rumor attachment. Like, that is maybe a little bit of smoke in this story. As for Sherrone Moore, I mean, what just a screw up situation. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not in these positions like these coaches are, where you have power and women or whatever, like throwing themselves at you. I don't know if that's exactly what happened here, but it's the one girl that he probably couldn't get with. He'd still have his job, or at least he'd be getting a $12 million buyout if it did break and they decided to fire. And it's just the fact that he lost his mind and went, off the deep end the second this news broke. It's like screwed him for a long haul, man. I mean, he would be an offensive line coach probably next year if they had just fired him at some other program, or probably a head coach in the next 5 years somewhere. Now it's like, dude, is he going to be in jail? Is he serving jail time? I mean, that picture, my brother said it perfectly. It was like the picture of him in the jail. So I don't even understand why was he not in person for that? I was kind of confused by that. Maybe that's
the arraignment.
Yeah, the arraignment, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
I think he was still like he hadn't made bond yet, so he was technically still in jail. And then so but I don't know all the details. But yeah, the lasting image of him in that white jumpsuit.
Yeah, my brother says it's like Hannibal Lecter vibes. It was kind of like what it looked like. It was crazy, man.
Yeah, he's in this tiny room.
And bizarre. It's embarrassing to be a Michigan like once you kind of like that first like 24 hours, you're like, wow, you couldn't leave your phone. Like this is entertaining. This is TMZ, like you said. Then it kind of sets in now the last few days, like how embarrassing this kind of really is to be, a fan of this team and this program now. It's like it's coming out how many different scandals we've had. I mean, I don't even understand what the heck the OC was doing a couple years ago, like apparently hacking into iClouds and stuff. It's like, and then you got Ward Manuel, I mean, somehow skating by through all this. I mean, that is where I'm at in the coaching search. Is I would have no problem if we make Biff Poggi the interim for a year if it means that Ward Manuel is out. And it's like we're just hitting the reset. We're going to take a year to get our ducks in a row. And then next year we're going to hit the coaching search and basically just rebuild this athletic department outside of the basketball program. Thank God for Dusty May. But who knows what scandal will happen with that. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, Jared, I agree 100%. I was going to bring that up. If they got Manuel sitting there right now, and if they do fire him, why not? If you're going to try and keep your core nucleus, I know some guys are going to enter the transfer portal, but Poggi'd be the guy to keep for a year as an interim.
Seems like it.
Try to right the ship, maybe.
Right. Seems like he's the guy to keep things together, and he'd be the guy to, so you have your offensive coordinator, defense. Let your coordinators do the job, and Biff will just be the guy to, like you said, right the ship. Let's keep the roster intact. Let's keep everybody from transferring, mainly Bryce Underwood and, a few other guys. Let's keep guys here. So then, yes, next offseason, because we know it happens every year. Guys get fired, guys get bought out, whatever. Next year, we'll really make a run at, whoever it is, whether it's Kalen DeBoer or, whoever. And it seems like that wouldn't be a bad option. It's just that, and this isn't against Biff Poggi. I mean, he's an awesome football mind. He's an awesome asset to Michigan football. I've just seen some people be like, is he really like on the level of being Michigan's head coach? And my argument to that is what's going on right now in the program? I mean, they hired Sherrone Moore, who had never been a head coach before. So like, why are we putting Biff Poggi down, as far as that goes, so I'll just be curious because the timing is odd. We're a week away from Christmas. College football playoff is about to start. So I guess, if Oklahoma goes out and blows out Alabama and Alabama fans turn on DeBoer and maybe Michigan can make a run. Yeah. Okay. Maybe you can bring DeBoer in now, but like Dillingham is still kind of saying he's sticking with ASU. The reports are Jed Fish, Washington's coach that's not really a realistic option. So it's just starting to get to like, when is this going to happen though? Because whoever's going to be head coach, you would think they want to get to Ann Arbor and start recruiting and start, kind of building their program. So definitely odd timing, and there's just been so much going on. I mean, it's an odd time to be a Michigan fan. It seems like they're not. It seems like they think they're above a lot of stuff right now. Like whether it's Sherrone Moore thinking he can just get away with this whole affair, whether it's some of these other coaches stuff that's gone on, whether it's Ward Manuel, we're just kind of above this. So it does seem like the right thing to do would be to, like, I forget which one of you said it, but like clean house and kind of try to start fresh.
Yeah, and here's where I'm at with Biff Hoagie is if it's Ward Manuel as AD and it's Biff Hoagie for interim, that just means Ward Manuel failed again. I mean, You can't. I mean, here's the thing: if you're Kenny Dillingham, why would where Michigan is at right now? Like I said, Ward Manuel might be fired tomorrow. They're currently under investigation. Who knows what that's going to uncover? I mean, my God, might be sanctions on the program. Why would you leave a job like what Dillingham has at Arizona State, where his contract literally keeps rolling over every year he hits 6 wins, to jump to Michigan, who's going to be probably sanctioned, who is only going to pay you maybe a couple more $1 million to live in Ann Arbor? It's like, yeah, I get it's Michigan, but I mean, it's been embarrassing. It's a big time logo, it's a big time brand, but where it's currently at right now and where it's at in the cycle, it's like it seems like we're not going to get one of those big fishes. And I'm glad it's not Jedfish. I will say that. My God, did I not want him? I'm not sure why that he was picking up so much steam just because he was a quote unquote Michigan man and was with Harbaugh here for a couple of years. I watched that Washington-Michigan game in person this year. I was not impressed with Washington whatsoever. I mean, we saw it with Michigan this year. This coach was literally we're getting allegations he's messaging OnlyFans models mid-game, and he's beating Jedfish, without an offense. So it's like, how am I supposed to look at that and be impressed? I really don't get it. It's time we're entering like what feels like a dark stage in Michigan football. I mean, you can turn this program around. If we hired Kenny Dillingham, I think it's a home run hire. I just don't think it's going to happen. I hope I'm wrong, but I thought for sure we had him. You know, his odds were locked up. You couldn't even place a bet on Dillingham to be Michigan's next coach, which to me is like usually the sports book. I mean, they had the playoff leaked before anything else, the sports books. So once I saw that, I was like, oh shoot, we're really going to get Dillingham. And then it comes out, he's like crying at his practice the next morning, talking about how much he loves Arizona State. He still hasn't vehemently denied that he's going to take the job. And I don't think has DeBoer really done that either, other than some weird, vague posting. But to me, it's the timeline, man. I mean, you have to get that coach in place before the transfer portal opens, or it might be. And here's where I'm at with the current roster. People are talking about this team. We talked about this after the Ohio State game. People are talking about this team like it's the 85 Bears, like getting ready to hit the transfer portal. It's like they're pretty good. It's the University of Michigan. Like if we get Dillingham tomorrow, probably going to bring in his own his batch of guys, and I'll take those guys over whatever the heck I watched last year. It's like if we lose some recruits due to this, like so be it. I mean, the fact of how it dropped a day after signing day, I was almost kind of hoping because they did those recruits so dirty. And I don't know about the timeline, man. It's up to interpretation. Right. I wouldn't have been upset if all those guys just said, "Yep, we're out, I'm transferring out." And we're gonna have zero signing. We're gonna have nobody on this signing class. But then the signing year. But here's the thing: you realize how little Sherrone Moore mattered to this program when nobody's transferred out. Whereas if it was a Harbaugh, I think we would see like basically the entire recruiting class be gone.
Oh, right.
Everybody already in the portal. But because it's Sherrone Moore, these players don't even care. They all knew about this, man. How do you face these guys? In this assistant, everybody on the team knows it. I just was wondering about the dynamics of that locker room. It must have just been bizarre, man. It's like,
well, that's why you hear him saying Biff has said that in interviews that players just feel betrayed. They feel like they're being sold. Snake oil salesman basically was Sherrone Moore selling them. That he's a leader of men and trying to build them into grown men and everything that a head coach is supposed to do. And he's out here having an affair for 2 years, 3 years, outside of his marriage and, all the other stuff that kind of went on there. There's the other side to it too. I was talking with a friend at work. I've brought him up before, but I work with a guy who's had a couple cousins play for Michigan. He's known some he knows some people, whatever that means, whatever you want to say within the program. He's actually like pretty good friends with Sam Webb, who Jared, you're talking about Michigan media. He's like, Sam Webb's probably the leader in Michigan media, and he's not doing too well right now with some of this stuff. No. But so this guy I work with and Sam Webb are close friends, and I asked him, I was like, did you talk to him about this? Like, did he know? And he showed me the text messages, and he was like, he texted Sam like the day that it broke and was like, "Did you know about this?" And Sam replied and was like, "I asked Sherrone multiple times about this, and Sherrone kept denying it." And there is a side of like you take someone at their word, you know. I mean, like if they continue to deny it, even if like you said, there's a lot of smoke. You see these two together a lot.
Yeah.
If he's denying it, you know, you're like, all right, I guess, you know, unless you've physically seen them in the act, you know, it's kind of like, well, they just keep denying it. You know, you take someone at their word, I guess. But I was talking to him. I'm like, the one thing about, you know, Ward Manuel and everything else, if Michigan, they didn't make the playoff, they didn't beat Ohio State. Like we've talked about before, they look like it was kind of like a down year type of thing. They could have easily avoided this whole mess and just fired Sherrone Moore, just bought him out. His buyout was only like, I mean, I say only, but only like 12, 13 million. You see what Brian Kelly's buyout was like 60 million,
Right.
You know, so they could have easily, like if they thought there was some smoke to this whole affair story and they kind of were ready to move on Sherrone Moore, why not fire him? Just fire him, avoid this whole circus, and then behind closed doors, be like, listen, we're going to buy you out. And this is almost like to help him be like, we don't want this whole story to hit the national media. You need to take care of your personal life. Go get all this stuff straightened out. We're not going to let this hit all the airwaves and everything. Buy you out, move on, and, you know, everything. Instead, they let it turn into this whole circus. And that's like a side, like, why didn't they just get ahead of this whole thing? And the minute that he lost Ohio State, be like, this isn't cutting it. We're buying you out. You're fired. Boom, done. Everyone's moved on, you know. So that's an odd thing too.
It took, I mean, when he went psycho mode, it kind of blew the story up, you know, times 10. That didn't help. Yeah. I mean, my God, showing up at her house and holding butter. I saw somebody tweeting like he was like dual wielding butter knives, like it was like Call of Duty or something like that. It's like, it's crazy. You make a good point, Matt. It is. I do wonder how does that not cross your mind? Because I'm with you. It's like, this has been embarrassing. Like Ward Manuel, like, man, maybe just cover this up and probably nobody's blinking an eye at you.
Yeah, and I'm not necessarily saying like cover it up. I just mean like just fire him and try and handle it like behind closed doors. You know, be like, listen, we know there's maybe something going on, but we don't want it to like hit national media. Like, let's just try and figure it out together. You know what I mean? Like, instead of letting it turn into what it did.
That's not a bad thought, but again, if he would have done that, you know, playing devil's advocate, don't you think there would have been people that would have dug up the dirt and it would have come out? It would have looked worse. It would have looked worse.
But at least they could have said, we fired you because of the results.
True.
You just got smashed by Ohio State. You're not living up to standards.
I just go back to, and I'm going to, you know, it's a complete disaster at Michigan. I don't know who's running the show. Is it the Board of Regents that are in charge?
Nobody really knows.
There's nobody's in charge. He should have been fired by now. Like I said, John Beeline should have been put in place.
Yeah.
Right the ship, and let's try to move this forward. What they got going on now is a complete disaster. How Ward Manuel still has his job is beyond me. And it's one thing only. Yeah, we know what Moore did, but Manuel signs the check. And when they have a $50,000 raise to an assistant, I don't even know what her job was, administrator of some sort, that alone, that's cause for firing him right now.
Right.
I just don't get it.
That should have easily been why is she getting a double salary raise? Right. Oh, she's really good at her job. Really? Okay.
Yeah, it's
like, you know,
the thing that sounds like what happened, and I don't know if this is a rumor, if this is fact, but the Ellisons, you know, which are a big time donor, basically they threatened to pull money, or they were going to pull money with Sherrone Moore at the helm, and then that maybe is what led to the firing and the timing of it. I don't know what to make of it. That's to me is, and I've heard Dave Portnoy say that, is it should be Larry Ellison should be the one making these decisions. He's the one that's funding this freaking program.
Right.
And you need just one person to be making decisions. That's what I mean. You can't even tell me who's making these decisions. I don't even understand. Why do we have an interim president? Did I miss that? Did our president leave?
Yeah, that's
Ono,
Santo
right?
Ono. Remember
yeah, wasn't that a year ago?
Was it this school year though, or where? Yeah,
okay.
It might have been like last spring or something.
So I guess I don't understand why that's an interim. I don't understand that either. It's one thing that's been annoying me as well is people are like, oh, like you can't bring in Jesse Minter. It's like time to turn the page on this whole, you know, Harbaugh thing. It's time to be done with it. It's like, dude, no, you take Jesse Minter tomorrow if he wants to come. It's like, what are we talking about? This is two different things. This is college. Here's the reality. This is college football in general. I mean, you look at Lane Kiffin left, and it's like the whole sorority row is airing out his DMs at Ole Miss. It's like that just is what it is. You can't do it with your own female staffer that works beneath you, works directly underneath you, which is just bizarre as well. You can't do that. But this is a lot of these coaches are kind of sleazeballs like this and doing that type of thing. So I don't know. It's just college football. It's not like Michigan is so radioactive because of this story and because of the Connor Stallions thing. Which, by the way, Connor Stallions, are we done with this guy? I feel like he's still getting media run, like, nonstop. Still, like, quote-unquote, leaking stuff from the science. Like, Michigan State had our signals in 2022. It's like, why are you still, making this story a thing? Like, go away. You did your job. You took the fall. Now I thought we all kind of thought you'd kind of disappear at this point, but he's still around. It's just,
he did.
I don't know.
He was just doing an interview with Dan Dockich too. So I mean, he's still getting run out there.
It was comical. I'll bring up Lenny one more time. He is my go-to guy when it's Michigan State, when it's Michigan, even Lions. I would say I just like hearing what he has to say. Somebody was like going to bump in with some report from why am I blanking on his name right now? Connor Stallions. Like on 97.1 The Ticket, they're like, yeah, Connor Stallions just tweeted out this. He's like, what are we doing? Why in God's green earth are we going to report what Connor Stallions is saying? I mean, it's a genuine question. I don't get it. I don't get how this guy is still kind of around and become basically a voice in Michigan media. Another one of those guys kind of taking a victory lap over this thing. I don't know. To me, it's let's just find a new coach. I mean, let's find a new AD first, honestly. It doesn't seem like that's going to happen. Seems like it probably already would have happened if we're going to get rid of Ward Manuel. So it's just, I guess it is what it is. It's dark days, man. I will say this: if we hire Biff Poggi, not to an interim basis, and it's Ward Manuel as AD, I'm jumping ship. I'm letting you guys know I'm not a Michigan fan anymore. If that happens, I'm jumping ship to Arizona State. I'll become a fan of them. I'm not doing that. Is that possible that can happen where he's hired not as an interim? Like, I feel like that is maybe going to pick up some steam as we keep striking out in the coaching search.
I mean, probably if they strike out, it seems like the two are Kalen DeBoer and Kenny Dillingham. And if by the end of January, by the end of the college football playoff, if both are still saying no, you might be almost just left with Biff Poggi. So I don't know. It'll definitely. I'm kind of with you though. I just want him to hire someone, move on. Let's just move on from this. But I feel like it's going to keep going as they keep digging and keep trying to find dirt on Ward Manuel so they can get him out.
He's got to go. That's all there is to it. I don't know if it's going to happen because of their administration, but man, that's where you start and then restructure. You know.
Did either of you guys read the Mitch Albom article? I didn't read it. I just saw the headline and I'm like, for the love of God, like, isn't the time to be throwing shots back at Penn State or Michigan State? You got to eat this one. It sucks. It's the Michigan man thing. I don't know if we ever really called Sherrone Moore a Michigan man. But it is like, I mean, we're supposed to be, the high and mighty and better than all this stuff. And then it's like, my God, it's been something every year. It feels like for the last 5-6 years. I'm looking and one of the funnier tweets I saw, which made zero sense. I like Reese Davis. We all like Reese Davis. He said you need to hire David Shaw. That's who my opinion is. You would seriously think that this is like a prison that they're running at Michigan. Like, dude, the coach went rogue and had an inappropriate relationship. This isn't like cause to burn down the entire athletic program. Right. Yeah, we don't like Ward Manuel, but that type of stuff is happening everywhere. And let's not overreact and literally say, let's hire the worst coach maybe I've seen. I still haven't forgotten the Rose Bowl against Michigan State. One of the worst called games I've ever seen. What are we talking about hiring David Shaw? I mean, my God. Yeah, get a coach that can win. You don't need some, perfect holier than thou guy. It's like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that was a little out of nowhere. It will be interesting to see where they go. Yeah, I mean, they need to do something. They need to keep the roster intact because Ohio State's not going anywhere. Indiana doesn't seem like they're going anywhere. Oregon not going anywhere. Michigan State just hired your guy, Pat Fitzgerald, Ted. So, Michigan needs to do something quick.
And one other thing. So the Bryce Underwood thing. Who's in a great position right now is Indiana. Just going to go get the top portal guy every year. We're going to show you what we're going to do in our offense. And it's like, they're going to have their pick of the litter, basically whoever they want to play quarterback next year. the people keep saying, we need to bring somebody in who can develop Bryce. This is, in today's world, there's no point in the developing thing. Like, honest to God, we'd be, if Dillingham came here and brought Levitt with him, we're a better team today than we were yesterday, if that happens. Not only just because of Dillingham, but because Levitt. I'm so over the we need to develop Bryce, we need to do this, we need somebody who can develop him. It's like, dude, no, let's make a program hire that's good for the next 10 years, not just to help this one quarterback that we're not sure is even good or not. Maybe I'm, I've realized that I'm on the, that I'm on the lesser side of the Bryce Underwood thing, where everybody else that's a Michigan fan is, he's so good, he's this, he's that. Where I'm kind of the other guy. I'm like, let's just go get a different quarterback in the portal. But I don't know. What do you guys think of that? Am I crazy for saying that?
Yeah, I mean, you can see both sides because, right, if you put all your eggs in that basket and he ends up not being good, well, you just wasted 2 or 3 years of football, But, I mean, you see it like with Arch Manning at Texas. I mean, he's coming back and they've done basically the same thing. I mean, he didn't start right away. That could be an argument. Arch Manning sat for a year, basically a year and a half, and now he's coming back again. So they're going to be even better. That's kind of a storyline. This is a side that, usually these bowls outside of the college football playoff, people are kind of over them a little bit. Mm-hmm. The Citrus Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl with Texas and Michigan actually has some storylines. I mean, Arch Manning's coming back. He's going to play. Bryce Underwood you get to see him against Texas. Biff Poggi leading Michigan without a head coach, and obviously Texas was Sark. So that bowl is actually going to be kind of fun. But yeah, no, I mean, right now that is what you have to do. That's part of the sell, not just Michigan, the brand, the money. Bryce Underwood is the quarterback at Michigan, at least for the next 2 years, unless he transfers, of course. That's part of the sell to whoever you're talking to as a head coach. You've got last year's number 1 recruit coming out of high school on the roster. So that should be a decent sell.
Yeah, well, I do like the idea of Dillingham. I mean, I wouldn't count him out yet. He's saying all the things he has to say. You have to, but I think if they make a push after their game, if they don't have a coach by then, give him the hard sell. And if he brings his guy, great. Because let's face it, I don't think Underwood's coming back. I think he's hitting the portal.
I don't know. Don't you think here's the thing, he's not going to make $12 million in the portal. So that's what I think is like why he'd be almost dumb to even enter it and try to leave, because he was paid premium price last year. And what we saw in his freshman year, yeah, he's still young and still can develop, but from his stats and from what we saw, he had a Davis Warren game versus Ohio State. Again, his coach, here's the important thing with Bryce, and this is why I'm willing to give him some grace. His coach was messaging OnlyFans models halftime of games.
Right.
It's like, you talk about zero development. And that's what's also worrisome about the Biff Poggi regime. We're just running back this coaching staff that seem to be kind of clueless. Like, that's not good for Bryce. No. If they are doing that and I was him, I wouldn't blame him for, let me go to a Tennessee. Let me go to a freaking LSU. I don't even know. LSU might be above them and go get, a proven guy, but I wouldn't blame him. I mean, why would you, if you're running back Biff Poggi and this is all about your development, maybe, and not just how much money I can make, then he would probably be pretty smart to leave.
I mean, we'll know soon, because that bowl game, that Cheez-It Bowl, December 31st, the next portal window opens on January 2nd. So right now, Bryce Underwood, he's practicing. He's saying all the right things, committed to Michigan, but he might just be saying that for the bowl game. And then after the Texas game, he might be saying, yeah, I'm out of here. The other thing, I mean, I don't think so. I'm on the side. I do think he's going to stick around, but, you never know with these kids. They flip, when they're committed to a team for 2 years, they flip on signing day. So you never know. I know we're going long on this Michigan thing, but the Sherrone Moore. So there's so many layers to this that it makes you wonder about the hiring process. Like, people have gone through and been like, they went to his Instagram and they went to, you can see all this stuff is public. Right. This is where it's like, dude, maybe it's a generational thing. He's not even that, and it doesn't matter. I think he's younger than me. So it's not even he's not like an old guy that can use that as an excuse. Like, all right, I didn't know.
Right.
All this stuff is public. He was following on his Instagram 400 OnlyFans and Instagram models. That's the only people he was following. And then some of his recruits and stuff like that. So when they went to hire him, Harbaugh goes to the NFL and, gives his stamp of approval. Yep, Sherrone. Yeah, he's a good coach. You think they would go through a hiring process and be like, man, there's this rumor, because they said this rumor of this affair has been out there for 2-3 years. there's this rumor. Let's kind of do some digging. Like, is this guy really, should he be head coach? Let's go to his Instagram. Let's see what's going on. Oh, he's following 400 Instagram and OnlyFans models. And not even, people were like, he's not even following his wife on Instagram. I know that doesn't, like, that's not like the end all be all, but that should be like what's going on here? You know, like what's happening? Ask him about it.
Isn't that hiring 101 nowadays?
It should
if you're going to hire somebody, you look at their resume and you check their social media history.
Yeah, nowadays, right? Nowadays, you go to their social media, right?
I just think that's agreed, but I think that is commonplace outside of the Jim Harbaughs of the world, who are,
I was gonna say, right?
You know, like, you know, he ain't doing that. But to me, that is like, I just don't know if that's a red flag. It's, can you win football games or not? That's all these guys care about. It's all Warde Manuel cares about. Can you win football games? The thing with Sherrone is he couldn't win football games, and he was PR nightmare at the same time after that. So it just was horrible. I mean, and we can hindsight 2020. Again, this is where the Michigan media, man. Did anybody do any digging until this broke? I mean, everybody knew about it, but nobody did anything to, you know, I don't know. It's crazy to me, man.
I guess not past Sherrone saying no.
You know, yeah, which is like,
as far as the digging went. Well, Sherrone denied it. So,
man, I'd love to live in that world where, yeah, exactly, where if I commit a crime, I didn't do it. You know, I didn't do it. So then it's like, okay, well, you didn't. He just said he didn't do it. So we'll just keep living our lives. It's crazy. I mean, who is your guys' number one guy you want? I mean, I don't even know if it's like, we're going to probably say DeBoer. I don't even know if that's realistic or not. Especially if they win on Saturday. It's like, why would he jump ship to Michigan? Maybe he would. You never know what's true and what's not true. I mean, Dillingham is my number one guy. If we're leaning toward it, seems like he's just posturing to try to get an extension at ASU. Other than that, I really don't even know who else you go after. Is there even any reality in Minter maybe wanting the job? I don't know.
I mean, some people said that he wants to be a head coach at some point. So maybe this would be, it would be a short-term thing. Come head coach Michigan for 2-3 years, and then hopefully that opens up an NFL job or something. So maybe, but the Chargers are going to be in the playoffs, so that's not happening anytime soon. DeBoer. The only thing with DeBoer and Dillingham, I also think, is they would keep those are names that would keep the roster intact. If you hire some up and coming no-namer type of dude, yeah, Bryce and other guys might hit the portal. So we'll see. I don't know.
You know what I thought about
DeBoer and Dillingham? I like Dillingham the best. I just like the cut of his jib. I like how he operates.
You can root for him. That's what I look at it. It's like everybody's gonna be rooting for this guy. That's a Michigan fan. Like Sherrone Moore, it's like, I feel it's like he was divisive from the start. It's like people weren't even really pulling for him. Have you guys thought about the possibility of like, imagine if Jim Harbaugh would have left and took that Vikings job, whatever that was 3 years ago. You know who probably would have? Mike McDonald. I mean, my God. You talk about the dream hire. It's Mike McDonald. Yes. That's never happening, obviously, but he's got a freaking Super Bowl contender in Seattle. But the fact that he was just our DC not that long ago, in this job, we gave it to Sherrone 2 years ago. I mean, you wonder if when we hired Sherrone, if we would have made a pitch at Mike McDonald, would he have came? I don't know.
Probably not. He's got an NFL head coaching job.
Yeah, well, he does, right. But did he, when he got that job the same offseason as Sherrone, I think.
Interesting thought.
2 years. I mean, it's a pointless thought because it's time has passed. He ain't never coming back to Michigan. Right. But would have been the awesome hire.